Federal program meant to protect immigrants who came here as children remains in limbo tonight.
The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA, protects those without legal immigration status from being deported. In addition, it also allows those known as dreamers to work, get driver's licenses and social security numbers, and receive financial aid for education. Right now, a federal judge is reviewing a claim from Texas and other Republican-led states who believe the program is illegal over a lack of public notice and comment period before it was enacted in 2012.
In the meantime, no new DACA applications are being approved. Around 600,000 dreamers already in the program have been allowed to remain in the U.S., but all 2 million still face an uncertain future. KRDO News Channel 13's Andrea Herrera continues our coverage of immigration in Colorado, the future of dreamers.
For us, it's really a family story of immigration. My grandparents moved here because my grandfather was very involved politically and was an activist, and really came to being concerned for his life.
It's a journey that started with Mario Hernandez's grandparents back in the late 60s. His grandpa was a civil rights activist in Guatemala City.
In Central America, unfortunately, when you're an activist and fighting for rights, your life is often in danger.
Which is why in the early 70s, Mario's grandparents knew they had to get out. They applied for and received a green card to come to the United States legally. They eventually settled in Colorado, where they found work as elementary school teachers. Years later, Mario's mom fell in love and had 2 boys in Guatemala. In 2001, she granted her visa and moved to Colorado when Mario was 11 and his brother 9. The kids came under tourist visas.
For my mom, it was always about my brother and I having an opportunity to live in the United States, to get a better education, and really to just be closer to also her parents and my grandparents.
However, coming to America and speaking no English was their first big challenge.
Finished 5th grade here and then went on to middle school, and very early on I was in the ESL program, so really focusing on learning English the first couple years.
And after 3 years, Mario went from not speaking English to being accepted into the International Baccalaureate program, also known as the IB program, an accelerated curriculum for advanced learners.
So very early on, I had aspirations to go to college. That's one of the main focuses of the program, is to get you to get some college credits by the time you graduate from high school and then make it to college.
But it was around that time Mario learned his tourist visa had expired, and he was now considered an undocumented immigrant.
And just to hear my friends be able to start driving, to start learning how to drive, I actually had to just often come up with lies as to why I didn't want to drive. I couldn't work at the time either. I think that was kind of the next level. That summer, my friends would start getting jobs. They would work at Waterworld or at Illich's here in Denver, and that was kind of a fun opportunity for them. And I would hear stories, but I also didn't have this additional income that was starting to come in for them to do the fun things that they wanted to do.
In 2009, Mario received his high school diploma from Thornton High School. He had been accepted to several colleges in the state and decided on the University of Northern Colorado.
But because I wasn't a documented student, I actually was being charged out-of-state tuition.
Mario was able to receive some scholarship money for his outstanding academic achievements. But covering the rest of his tuition was not easy, because Mario could not get a work permit. Instead, he was employed by the college under a scholarship program.
It allowed me to attend school for the first 3 years, but I wasn't able to work, and DACA wasn't around until right before I was close to graduation, actually.
Just 1 year before graduation in 2012, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, was enacted, and Mario applied.
I was hesitant because it was this brand new program that I knew was also not going through Congress. It had actually been an executive order. So I knew the challenges of what that could mean, and it could end at any point.
After 8 months, Mario was approved for DACA. About the same time, he received a job offer as the hall director at Colorado University.
To know that I could call that organization and say, I'm taking this job, and I'm excited. I have a work permit.
Since then, Mario has received an MBA from the University of Colorado in Denver. He's now a business operation manager for Smartsheet, a software service program.
There's a lot of us that became teachers or work in education. That's also contributing to society in a whole new wave. And now for DACA recipients that are growing their own families.
Mario is one of the other 2 million dreamers who still don't know what their future holds, as the legality of DACA is held up in court.
I would love to buy a home, to save enough money to do that, to really establish myself here, home in Colorado, where I grew up and what I consider to be home.
The DACA program allows recipients to renew their requests to remain in the program every 2 years, and in some cases apply for their green card, but it's not a direct path to citizenship. Andrea Herrera, KRDO, News Channel 13.